Hey everyone, Animated Tanner here. I had the honor of interviewing standout Hofstra wrestler Charles Small. He was a stud for the small New York school and he was a 2021 national qualifier at 184. This is an edited interview, so if you want to find the full unedited version, go check it out on Patreon. Link will be in the description below. Charles was a really down to earth guy and we had a really nice conversation. I plan to do a ton more of these in the future and I'm really glad he was my first one to start us out. Also, this wasn't my first time interviewing someone, but it definitely was the first time I was interviewing a wrestler or any sports figure, so I tried my best. We'll all learn together, I guess. Also, if another athlete wants to be on the show, please reach out to me on Twitter. All my links for social media are in the description below. Now, let's do this thing. Um, just to be clear, real quick, are you looking to coach at the next level and everything
Yeah,
like that?
yes, I am.
Sweet. All right. So if there's any coaches out there, ADs, this guy's looking, Charles Small, great to have on the team. So I want to start out with the first question here. So going all the way back to your high school days back in Florida. So what part of when you're wrestling high school, middle school, did you kind of realize, hey, I want to wrestle at the next level?
I didn't really, I didn't start wrestling until I was a sophomore in high school, pretty much. Um, uh, I really want to say probably the summer in between my junior and senior year. Um, my coach, my high school coach, kind of sat me down and he basically was just like, "Hey, man, like you really, if you really want to, get out of here and make a name for yourself and have something nice, you can take this. This sport can take you anywhere." And I just kind of didn't take it seriously, but after a while, I figured, why not? Why not go out and just give it a try? And so,
That's awesome to hear, actually. You were a state champ, right? Your senior year in Florida?
yes,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad you decided to take your talents to the next level then.
way back when, I I had schools calling me, but not that many. I remember, I think I was committed to Tiffin University for a while. I wouldn't want to state title, and I beat some good kids on the way to my state title. So after that, a lot of places started calling. So I was like, well, maybe I should kind of keep looking at my options. I so after that, I had taken a few visits. Um, I was talking to some Division I schools, but the money situation didn't work out. So I was like, well, if I can't go Division I, then I'm just gonna go to the next best thing, which is the best Division II school.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm assuming when you went to Notre Dame, were they still like a powerhouse around
Yeah.
that sort? Yeah, they had some studs. A little bit before I got there, they definitely had some studs. I'm real curious about your transition from just Division II to then junior college. What made you sort of want to leave Notre Dame and head out to Northwest Kansas Technical College? And then how was your experience there? And just what were the differences from JUCO to Division II or vice versa?
Sabali was always he was the coach at the time. He's the coach at North Idaho Junior College now. He had hit me up out of the blue one basically like after I had decided in my head that it was time for me to leave, like probably a day or two after, and I was just like, all right. So he said he could get everything done for me. So
Huh.
I didn't really need anything else after that.
On a JUCO title there, correct?
Yeah.
That that had to have been awesome. What were those kind of emotions and feelings like?
Um, I mean, I feel like the difference would probably just be like junior college is smaller, pretty much. Um, like Goodland, Kansas is in the middle of Northwest Kansas, 15 miles away from the border of Colorado. Population, I think like 4,200. Had more had more kids than that in my graduating class of high school. Just in the middle of nowhere. The Walmart was the mall. Like it was somewhat of a culture shock, just in a way, just being that far out in the country. Um, but The experience is really great because kind of with everybody being like in that area, a lot of people don't aren't from there, don't go there, so it's like you kind of foster like a little family, a lot of friendship because everybody's like away from home and stuff. So I wouldn't have traded the experience for anything because I had a great time there. And as far as the national title,
I bet.
to be honest, I don't know. After I won it, I was kind of just like, I directly turned my focus into like, what's next? Yeah, I enjoyed it for a few days. Having they gave us like a humongous bracket. Um, so like having to lug that around felt kind of cool. So I was like, wow, like I did something cool. But my direct focus was just mainly on like what's next. Like, um, you know, it's great that I did this, but I had a purpose behind this. So, like what's next? Like what's my next move? So I gotta figure out what I was doing next.
What made you kind of say like I want to transition to the next level? How did you know Hofstra was the best fit? I know with a lot of JUCO colleges, the next step is to go on to like the next level and everything. But what made you pick Hofstra, and what were there any other schools you were kind of looking at in that process?
Yeah, I was talking to Virginia Tech mostly, in Old Dominion. Um, I don't know, Dennis. Me and Dennis just had a pretty good connection. He made me two promises when I was on my visit. He said that he'd never lie to me, and he'd always go to hell and back for me. So 3 years later, and he's kept the promise the whole time. So that was pretty much it. I was really just looking for somebody that I felt like really and truly believed in me, and he fit the case.
um, to hear that about your experience at Hofstra, that it never changed. I know you hear stories about some coaches where they'll say one thing and then switch it once you're there, but it's good to hear that it stuck through and everything. And then just similar to Division 2 to JUCO, what was it like switching from JUCO to Division 1 once you started competing at Hofstra and everything like that?
Oh, it was insane. Remember there was like a 2 or 3 month period where I didn't get a takedown in the room. Man, I was getting beat down every single day. Um, and I lost like 12 or 14 matches in a row. Um, but um, I, the transition was hard. There's a big learning curve,
Oh, I bet.
but I feel like once I got over the curve, it was pretty seamless. Wrestling's the same at all levels. There's just a little extra little tidbits that get added in. The higher level you get. So, once I figured that out, I feel like I had a pretty good transition.
That's really cool. What was kind of like just some things you tell yourself to like you said, get over that hump? What were some things in the room like when you had a bad day, just couldn't get a takedown? You're like, all right, like, how did you talk to yourself to make those little adjustments to get over that hump?
Just keep working. That's it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wrestling during COVID, what was it like for you guys at Hofstra wrestling during COVID, and then especially for you during that COVID season? Just like what were some of the struggles that like were really bothersome?
Mainly just getting shut down. Guys popping positive. I think we got shut down more than any team in the country. Got shut down 7 times.
Really? Wow,
And
that is a massive number.
so we missed 70 days of practice and competition.
Wow. Oh, that's crazy. That's impressive. You guys still made it out to nationals and everything. So that's a
Yeah.
blessing in itself, I guess, there. But I mean, I'm glad you guys did get to make it to EIWAs and then nationals, where you were a national qualifier in 2021. Can you just kind of tell me how it was navigating through that EIWA bracket to qualify, and then what your nationals sort of experience was like just some of the emotions running through that?
I mean, well, the way they set up the qualification process last year, uh, basically just made it open to the point where I only had to win one match just to qualify. But that's not we're not coming to EIWAs just to just qualify for the national tournament. We're coming to win it.
For
So
sure.
kept wrestling. Lost to Lou Dupre. Um, got on the backside. Won some tight matches. Avenged the loss from early in the season against kid from Army. I did that again this year too as well. Um, you know, placed third. Wanted to at least be in the finals, but next best thing. I don't know. I had a decent year, so I got a pretty decent seed. Um, I want to say, like, with my experience, it was really surreal because when I was in Division Two at Notre Dame, when in 2018, when NCAAs were in Cleveland, we went and we worked NCAAs, and
Huh.
as I was there, like I remember watching like all 3 days. I was like, man, like this is nuts. Like the entire environment is nuts. I was like, man, like I gotta get here. I was telling myself, like I was like, man, like I gotta get here. Like this is where it's at. So that was kind of the day that I really like made up in my head, like yeah, like I gotta go, I gotta go.
Got to get there some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a pretty awesome story. I'll be honest. I got pretty pumped listening to that. Um, so yeah, no, I was you came what was that? So that moment it would have been 3 years before you qualified, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a great journey. Three different schools and everything. But yeah, really awesome. I'm really happy for you then. That's just the sort of things when you see people qualify, you don't know what they're thinking. Like for some people, maybe it's like, man, this is the like best day of my life. Some people they have stories like yours, and yeah, no, that's really cool to hear. I don't want to get like too deep, I guess, but like, what are your overall thoughts on your career now that it's all said and done? You're looking to coach, looking to move on in the world. Just kind of what were your thoughts? You could tell me as much or as little as you want.
I mean, obviously, I'm not happy because I didn't qualify for nationals again, but for a guy that hasn't even been wrestling a decade yet, I feel like I've accomplished a hell of a lot more than most people would have thought.
Oh, for sure. Heck yeah. Yeah, no, that was another thing when you said you just started as a sophomore because I knew you were a couple time placer from Florida, but you never just assume like they started the same year they play. So that's
Mhm.
pretty awesome and incredible to hear. And then you wrapped up your career at Hofstra. Just what were some of your favorite things from that school? Um, it could be, I know you said the coaching, you really like that. Just it could be anything. It could be wrestling related or not. What are some of your favorite things about that experience?
Just having a great time making memories with my teammates. Um, I enjoyed coaching the most because here it's a small school, small team, so it's not like you're gonna get lost in the crowd or anything like that. Like last year around this time, I hurt myself. Wasn't even sure if my career was gonna end then and there or not. Um, so but Dennis worked with me. He made sure I was all right, made sure I was taken care of, as he always does, and like he said he would. So I feel like probably just the coaching and how personal it was is probably my favorite thing about it.
What was like your favorite college match? Not to put you on the spot, but I didn't know if you had one or thoughts on that.
When I wrestled my the first year I was here, my junior year, when I wrestled Kyle Davis from Sacred Heart. Um, I was kind of on a little like a little match streak, a little win streak, and he was like, I think he was he was like 30th or like 33rd in some of the polls. So like I was like, so like basically like it was just like I'm coming in with the head of steam. Um like he's about to qualify the way for the conference, this and the third. Um so it was just like a big matchup. And we were like the last duel of the night. I mean, we were the last match of the duel. And I went out there and I beat him. And it was like the last duel of the year too. Went out and I beat him. Like I got a slick high C takedown right at the buzzer. But then I celebrated and they called me for an unsportsmanlike and they
For
gave
real?
him a point. Yeah. So the match went into overtime. And then I took him down again in overtime. That was like my first like quote unquote ranked win.
Yeah,
I was just like, it was awesome.
that sounds really dope. They called so they unsportsmanlike and they didn't just take it away from the team. Like, was there still time on the clock? Like, I've never heard of that. I've seen it, but I've never normally they just take away from the team score, not like the guys wrestling.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's odd. So I noticed not to break when your career ended, you were started getting big on Twitter. Just what's your thoughts on wrestling Twitter? I love some of your opinions, by the way. Yeah, I thought I'd get a laugh, but just what's kind of your thoughts? Again, you can be as little or brief as you want, but I'm just kind of curious.
Um, there's some characters on there and there's some good people on there. Um, some people are living in the real world, some people are living in some fantasy worlds, man. That's about that's about all there is with that.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you gave me that answer. I love that answer, to be honest. That perfectly sums it up. I'm sure there's some people who could write paragraphs on paragraphs of wrestling Twitter, and that
Yeah.
literally perfect sums it up. Perfect way to end this out. Only other thing besides saying thank you very much. This was awesome. Can't wait to edit it and put it out there. Do you have any questions for me? All ears for that. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, no, man, I'm good, man. I'm just want to say thank you for having me on.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really appreciate it, and I had a great time talking to you.